Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new episode of our Zoodyssey Planet Zoo series. It's been a while since I've done this series. I did a couple of platformer potpourri videos, which is what I decided to call my Indie 3D platformer series. I just kind of wanted to do something different after coming back from my hiatus. But now I think I'm ready to start doing some Planet Zoo again. We are going to restart the zoo just because I have some ideas for how I could do some of the things I did better. The basic idea of what we've done so far in the past series is going to be the same. We're still going to have the terrarium and the worldly woods and all that stuff. I just kind of want to do it in a different way, you know? So now we're just kind of going to start the new version of the zoo. I'm going to reuse a lot of the ideas, like I said, from the old zoo, but I just kind of want to do something different, I guess. Since I had a hiatus, I had a lot of time to think about stuff, and I just kind of want to try something else. So today we are going to do the opening, like, visitor center building. Or we're going to at least start it. I don't think we finish it in this session. It'll be a 2-session build, probably. This is sort of the equivalent of the water feature pond thing that we had in the first episode of this series. As well as kind of that opening staircase area. It's kind of the equivalent of that. Although we're going to have our gift shop in here. And yeah, it's going to look really nice. As you can see, I'm just kind of laying out the floor plan for what everything is going to look like. This thing that I'm building right here deep into the ground is going to be our gift shop. And I have some cool ideas for the theming. I'm using this water path because I kind of want to make it like a swampy look, like a frog-themed gift shop. I think it'll look kind of nice. And it ends up turning out pretty nicely. At least I think so. When I record the second part of this build, we will add more decoration to it. But I think it looks pretty nice. For this opening building, I kind of want to use a bunch of different architecture styles, like this East Asian wood theme. I think it'll look rather nice. But I'm just going to use a bunch of different building materials just to make it varied. Just so it doesn't all look like the same basic brown, like dark brown wood that we used a lot in the earlier version of this. So right here I'm building our ticket booths. These are going to be our nice ticket booths. And then over here on this side, we are going to do our stroller rental area. We're still going to keep that idea because I like that, even though it doesn't serve a function in-game. It's a nice little, oh, what's the word? Diegetic, maybe? Like an in-universe kind of purpose. Creating a new work zone for it. This is the visitor center, obviously. Just kind of laying out the location of all the walls. In this video, we do finish, kind of more or less finish this first half of the building where the ticket booth and stroller rentals are. We do finish that in terms of like the roof and the outside of the building and whatnot. We still have to finish the second half where it will lead into the Worldly Woods hub. Because this isn't really the hub itself, this is just like the entrance. The appetizer, if you will. And then the Worldly Woods will have our lemur pavilion and our terrarium. And I have decided in this version of it, I had toyed with it in the earlier version, but we never got far enough in it to really do much with it. I am definitely going to use mods in this zoo. Just like modded animals and maybe some custom props that people have made. Like two very prominent modders, Nicholas Lionrider and Leaf Productions, made a black and white ruffed lemur, and I will be including that along with the base games, a red ruffed lemur and ring-tailed lemur in the lemur pavilion. I had actually recorded gameplay for the lemur pavilion. Actually, I had recorded enough gameplay prior to my hiatus to actually just straight up finish the Worldly Woods hub entirely. But I just decided to not show that, and besides, when we finally got my computer up and running again, I actually lost those files, so even if I wanted to show them to you as like a legacy thing, I can't, unfortunately. That's disappointing. But I'm going to be doing a better version of that build. Much more elaborate and expansive, I think. And it's going to look really nice. So we're going to start building out the wall for our gift shop here. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a frog, swampy, glade themed. And now we're moving here to our opening area, which I kind of wanted to do sort of a deserty look to it. Like you're in a desert and you're entering some kind of oasis. I don't know. I think it looks kind of nice. Just make a bunch of rocks here, and then we'll just copy and paste them. Because it's easier than doing them separately all the way. Do it on both sides. So this is kind of our opening little area before you get to the ticket. I keep forgetting what they're called all the time. They're turnstiles. And we're going to use this wooden fence wall set. I could use like an actual fence or make a custom one, but I like the look of this like weird wooden almost picket fence sort of. I like the look of it, it's cool. So I'm going to use that. Now we're just kind of laying out the outer fence here. I am going to put like some fence posts in here, kind of where the separate pieces of fence mix, just so it kind of hides any seams. And then I want to put like some kind of grow beds here that you often see out front in the front gate of zoos. I don't know, I'm probably mixing up my terminology. Not a grow bed, but like a planter. That's the word. I'm dumb. I couldn't think of the word planter. I decided to put this fence here because I thought it looked nice, but I think I eventually get rid of it because it clips through the objects too much and looks weird. And then I get these. I start with these big column pieces, but I think I go into more planters, like circular ones. And it's these pieces that the fence kind of just clips in too much for my liking. There, I'm getting rid of it. I don't know. So now we're just going to have a bunch of planters here. And I'm looking for another fence that will kind of serve my purpose. I think I go with this one. I don't remember. It's been a couple days since I filmed this. I think I used this one, yeah. And then I copy it over here. No sense in rebuilding it completely if it's going to be the same. I'm trying to think of a nice plant that would look good here. I try a few different ones, but they're not giving me the vibe I want. And I think I settle on these. I forgot what they're called. Now I'm just kind of filling it out. I decided to use some blue flowers on this one. Hopefully you didn't hear that. My phone just vibrated. I thought I turned it to complete silence. Ah, that's a problem. Alright, so now I'm just going to put some benches here and some little canopies here for people who just want to sit outside the zoo. Looking pretty nice thus far. Get some trash cans, because people are inevitably going to throw their litter everywhere. I know you can, in Sandbox, you can make it so that people don't litter, but I would like the zoo to be as self-sufficient as possible. I think the only, Sandbox option I really turned on, and this is mainly for creativity purposes, is, it's a new one they added in update 1.6, the animal vegetation tolerance, which normally certain animals only like a certain amount of plants in their habitat. So if you really want to do like lush looking ones, you can't because they only like 5 plants. So now the animals will enjoy as many plants as I put in their exhibit. They don't care about number anymore, which is just mainly so I can make cool looking exhibits. But that's the one thing I did put on, just because I wanted to make something that looks nice. And so now, speaking of plants, I'm just sort of decorating the outside here, making it look, even though it's deserty, like all like lush looking, like a lush desert, or like a scrub area, I guess. I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing various bushes and trees everywhere, and I think it looks nice. Alright, so now we're going to move into the inside here. And I actually kind of saw the inside of this building. This is going to sound weird, but I kind of saw it in a dream. And I really wanted to recreate that dream. Where there was this big window here above it. And it didn't really lead into anything, but I thought it looked nice. And I'm going to use basic concrete for the outside walls, because people aren't really going to see them that much. And this is going to be one of the more... I realized that it was sunk too much in the ground there. One of the more realistic aspects of the zoo is I kind of want to do like actual like backstage areas. And you'll see what I mean later. There's going to be like an actual kind of backstage area with like a power generator and pallets and stuff. Not as fleshed out as backstage areas could be, but this is just the opening building. Like exhibits will probably have like little indoor places where the animals can get away from people. So I'm going to reuse a trick I used in the previous version of the zoo where I use these logs as like a little countertop because I think it looks nice. Even though this part isn't as like foresty themed as the other ones, I still think it looks kind of cool. Obviously the worldly woods area, like actual hub, will still be that idea that we had in the original version of the zoo where it was like the illusion of you being up in the canopies, all the trees below you, the big pit and everything. I'm still gonna do that because I really like that idea. And in the footage that I recorded that you unfortunately aren't gonna get to see, it really came together when I finished the Worldly Woods hub. Where I had like big towers in the background. Just like jutting up over the behind buildings and stuff. It looked really cool. So we're gonna recreate that. But for now, I just kind of want to have a basic, like, little opening building. That's right, we're making a ticket sign. Like with the original version of the zoo, we're going to use the $sign as the S, which is something that somebody suggested. Alright, so we got our little ticket booth. Over here, we're going to put some ATMs, just so people can get some money. Even though it's indoors, I'm going to put this little canopy over it just for decoration. And we're going to put ATM. And then I just kind of put some little $signs on them. And then I realized they're kind of just floating in midair based on how the thing slopes. It doesn't look super great. They're not super flush with the slope of the machine, but it looks fine. It's whatever. Alright, so over here we're going to do our stroller rental building. So we're building our sign here. And we're going to put strollers. Pretty self-explanatory, center that. I'm kind of just going all over the place with everything. And then I'm going to put this chimpanzee sign here because it has the baby version on it. So it's like, hey, here's baby stuff. And then I have this black room in here that I'm going to decorate with like jungle stuff. I think it's going to look kind of nice. Be like, oh, you're going into the jungle to get your... It's kind of cheesy and hokey in a way, but I think it turns out well. In like a weird county fair kind of way. But I like the way it turned out. So I'm going to use these scaviola bushes as like tree canopy, like kind of in the... almost like you're underneath some trees. Get some tree trunks here to kind of give the impression that you're in a little forest. And then we're going to use a lot of signs. Like, these kind of like tree signs and the leaves and whatnot. And these vines, I don't know. Just kind of a silhouette-y forest look to it. I don't know, I kind of like it. Just put some like little leaves on it. Have this orangutan, he's kind of hanging from the canopy. Just kind of decorating it, making it look kind of cool. And then we get our strollers from that I got on the Steam Workshop, because I think they look pretty cool. If I remember, I'll put the link to this in the description. So we're just going to make a couple rows of strollers that you can go get once you've rented them from the kiosk next door. Put some lights in here along the tree things, just so it's not pitch black. And then we use our trusty ivy to make it look nice and overgrown. And I think it turned out pretty nice. You can never have enough of this ivy. I love the way it looks in this game. And then we have some vines hanging down from it to kind of give it that foresty look. And now this is the tricky part, is that there's not like, we have these like triangular sloping glass pieces, but we don't have like opposite ones that you could like fit above them like a puzzle piece. So you kind of just have to like make it yourself out of these shapes. And this was kind of a tricky bit, but I managed to make it work so that it looks fairly nice. Copy that, rotate it there. You have to make it so they kind of fit in place like that with each other. I think it turns out pretty well. I'm happy with how it looked. I just put that wooden wall there just to kind of give an idea for how high the wall should go. So now I realized that it was jutting out too far, so I gotta move that piece back in. It's not gonna look super perfect. There's gonna be some seams, but I think from a distance it looks pretty well, which is how guests would see it anyway. So it doesn't really need to be super perfect. It's like there's kind of some seams, but it doesn't really matter a whole lot. It just needs to look fine from a distance. And then we're going to copy that and move that over. So now we have the area above the window, and we're just going to kind of copy this. Like I said, I'm not going to go too decorative with the side of the building over here. It's just going to be concrete, because people aren't really going to see it. So it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Now we get a ceiling for our employee tunnel. Put some light posts out here. I'm going to go with these modern ones. Just not everything needs to be super themed, because this is just the opening area. So it's fine if they're not like super thematic. They just need to work. It's really all I need them to do. So now I'm going to build out the walls a bit more. So now we got our walls situated here. Gonna use these. I decided to use these like thatched canopy things. I don't know, I think it'll look cool. And we're gonna have like a little not terrarium, but a little greenhouse thing in here with some jungle plants in that glass area. So now we're going to build our little backstage area with our power generator and water purifier. And we're going to use this basic like concrete path back here, because this is just kind of like with these fences here, it doesn't really need to be super fancy. This is just where like deliveries might come in. I might add like a little road going to the edge of the map, like this is where the truck would come in with deliveries. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that in the second, when I continue this build, whenever I record more gameplay for it. Now we have these doors, move them there. Alright. Let's get a little break room sign. Add that to the work zone. Now I'm just kind of decorating this back area, because I know I don't need to, because guests aren't going to see it, but it's for realism's sake. So we just have a trash can recycling bin. Let's get some pallets back here. Just kind of like, you know, these had deliveries on them, but they're just kind of here, just, I don't know. Here's a fire hose they might use if something catches fire. Let's just put some like, oh, here's some pots here and some bowls that they could use for later. And here's a recent delivery of fruit that's just kind of been left out. Just various like little, here's some boxes just stacked up. Just kind of like add something to this outside just so it doesn't look boring. Like here's a little clock above the door. Here's a little pattern there. I don't know. And then a little air conditioning. Here's a place where they can plug in their phones and stuff if they're charging their phone or whatever. I don't know. Just kind of putting something back there so it looks fine. Now we copy this over here. Copy that there. So yeah, they can kind of look up and see the concrete part of the building, but that's fine. Maybe I'll put some trees or something, or cover this side with rocks from the opening area point of view, so it's not super visible. I don't know. Alright, so finish the ceiling on that. And now we're going to work on the ceiling here. I'm going to have this opening kind of layer be flat ceiling, and then we're going to do a glass for the rest of it. It's going to have little walls here. Decided to do a different color just to spice it up a bit, you know. And then have a glass ceiling, and it's going to look cool. And then we're going to have a little trim of these logs here. I really love these logs. They look super cool. I wish maybe we had different kinds. Like one that was like an oak tree log, and because I know they're different colors, like a birch one with like the white spots on it. I think that'd be cool, where it was just a solid log column. Maybe modders will get to work on that. I don't know. So now we're going to switch gears. I'm kind of just all over the place when I build. I'll just like randomly switch focus. I probably shouldn't be, but it's whatever. So now we're just switching focus over to the Froggy Swamp gift shop thing. Which I think turns out pretty well. I like the way it came together. Alright, so now we're just plugging the gap in these stairs. Put like some little column here, I don't know. Just so it doesn't look super boring. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and change that. It doesn't quite mix with the rocky wall I had there. Alright, so now we're going to put our stands here. Our various gift shop stands. And then we're going to have various product displays and stuff, and it's going to look cool. I'm using this kind of bamboo wall just to kind of fit with like the swampy feel of it. I don't know. There are a lot of these top pieces that I wish were like, what's the term? Like grid pieces, but a lot of them are not, unfortunately. So it's whatever. It works. Maybe I'll change this bamboo thing, because watching the footage back now, I'm not a huge fan of it. It kind of feels out of place, so I'll probably go back and fix it. I don't know. But right now, I'm gonna put our little display thing, front shop displays. Now we gotta get our shop signs. That's just a memento. And loony balloons. Oh, that was the wrong sign there. Just put some little standee signs there so everybody knows this is where you go for stuff. Alright, and so now I'm getting these gift shop display things that I found on the Steam Workshop. They are really nice. I used them kind of in the first section, although you didn't see that footage. I used them in the first version of the zoo when I made the gift shop. But that footage is lost to time, so you shall never see it. So I'm just gonna kind of distribute this stuff wherever I think it looks nice. Kind of have these little toy bins. Just kind of throw things around. It doesn't really matter where. It just kind of has to look kind of cool. I do wish that, that's a problem with the building in this game, is if you build the ceiling first, if you accidentally go above it, you have to like go out of the building, zoom down in, and then go back in. It's weird and not very convenient. Alright, so just gonna throw things somewhere. It doesn't really matter. And then I realized I had duplicates of these balls here. So I'm just going to put another toy in here. I end up putting like the rubber duck enrichment. I'm just kind of searching around for something that would look kind of cool. That soccer ball is too big, so I just kind of put the rubber duck and just kind of throw a bunch of those in. And then because it's like a swampy thing, I wanted to use these circle bits to create like little lily pad shapes on the floor. And then just kind of copy those around. So it's like you're walking on top of a swamp. I don't know. I don't know. I think it looks cute. It's a nice little cute little design. And now we go with our trusty ivy. Can never go wrong with it. Always makes things more lush and interesting looking. I love to overdo the ivy. I just think it looks super cool. I'm probably not done with this gift shop. I will decorate it a bit more. I wish there were more frog-themed decorations, or like swamp ones in general. So like I have this frog sign here that I could put somewhere. Thought about putting... I think I put it there. That's the only like frog-themed one we have. I thought about putting like silhouettes of... like those white silhouettes of clouds on the ceiling. That's why the ceiling was blue, is because like you're looking up at the sky. But we only have like the half clouds with the flat bottoms rather than full cloud shapes, so it would look weird. Maybe when I go back I will like use the basic circle geometric shapes to make my custom clouds. That might work. Put some speakers up here. And then do frogs of the jungle. Get some frog sounds in there to complete the theming. I don't think I have a name for this gift shop yet, but I think it looks pretty nice. And then I realized, oh wait, I didn't have any mechanics in there, so my stuff was breaking. Clumsy me. So now we're gonna put our sign, and we are still. This is still Zoodyssey, which is still a great pun. Don't at me. Of Odyssey in zoology, the study of animals. So this is an animal adventure, and then we are going to change that to yellow, and then make a little darker version that is like down and deeper in, so it's like a drop shadow. And then, like, for some reason, when I was trying to copy this over to the other doorway, the yellow kept turning into white for some reason. I don't know why it didn't stay colored, so I had to go back and change it to yellow. I don't understand why that was a thing, but it's whatever, I've dealt with it. So now we're just putting a bunch of tropical plants in here, because this is like a little greenhouse. I keep wanting to say terrarium or biodome, but biodome just makes me think of Pauly Shore, and that makes me sad. So we have this cool little entrance here. And now we're gonna do this little corrugated... I really like this corrugated metal roof. I wish we could change the color, but we can't. But I do like this like chrome whitish silver look. And so now we do the roof of this area, which is going to be glass so we can get some natural sunlight in. Almost like you're in a big greenhouse. Well, since there's not a lot of plants in there, it's probably more of a terrarium, I guess. Although I'll put some plants... I think I forgot to fill in that open grassy space in the middle of the building. There'll be plants there too. Or maybe some animal statues, I'm not sure. I haven't really decided yet. Alright, so we kind of got the roof of the building of this first half done. The second half with the gift shop still needs to be finished, and that will be done next time. Get some roof trims going up here. I know it's not the same angle as the rest of the roof, but I think it looks nice. Alright, so now we're going to do with some lighting. I just had a bit of a lisp there. With some lighting, I'm fine. I kind of have a bit of a lisp when I say certain words, especially when I'm talking quickly like this. So I get some lights there so you can see the signs a bit better. I'm changing some of these signs to be on all the time, although that doesn't really do much since they're not even super bright when they're on in the daytime. I wish they were brighter, but it's whatever. And then get some lights here. Just kind of have them go all the way around. And then some in the corners here. I think it looks pretty nice. Like I said, I don't think in this video I do anything with that grassy bit in the center, but I will next time. It'll be a plant thing. Or some animal statues. I haven't decided. So now we're just going to tease some of the animals that are going to be in our zoo. Just kind of, and then I put some other ones up here, some monkeys and a wolf. The elephant one's really big by comparison, so I don't use that one. Yeah. And I really like how this is turning out so far. If you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and give them to me. Putting some security cameras around. Stop any thievery. And then get some security cameras out here. And I think that's basically going to do it for this build. So I will see you next time, and we're going to transfer into the walk-around segment. So I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey everybody, Crystal Manta here. Thank you so much for watching the video. You guys are truly the best audiences a YouTuber could have. If you want to see more content like it, be sure to like and subscribe, and hit the little bell for notifications on when all my future videos come out. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.